Tal Yaron, and I have a startup called StreetWize VR. The startup, the meaning is to do training in virtual reality for safety. This is a startup that I've been running in the past 2 years with Lou Hayat, my co-founder, a genius game programmer and my CTO. And the research we did was led by Dr. Mark Shovman here. Thank you very much for this. We are actually two childhood friends, me and Lou. And well, he was studying game programming in Florida, and I was studying special education in Israel. We had this dream to do an educational game. So actually we did that, and our vision was to save lives on the road. I also do advanced driving techniques for drivers, and also do road safety instruction in schools. So my vision was to save lives through social technological change. I'll present you with that in a minute. And our mission was to first to prepare children to face the dangers on the road. We realized that a specific risk group is kids ages 9 to 12, specifically in zebra crossing. They feel safe there, and they prefer to play Clash Royale instead of looking right and left. We came up with a game that helps them understand the dangers on the road. So I'll try to present a short film of what we do. It's going to take something like 2 minutes. And now for a minute of some outtakes of the lessons that I passed for the last 2 years. Some of them are screen projector classes, and some with the laptops and the tablet versions that we came up with. So it will be a minute of that. This is the in-game feel, and there's the Wilhelm screen. So we actually wanted kids to peek behind obscuring cars. So that's what we teach. Needless to say, it's the coolest lesson in school. Okay, so the kids love it. It's an absolute joy to pass this class. So it's a game-based learning. Okay, so they are able to experience through trial and error the crossing on the road. These days, there actually is no way to implement practical road crossing. Everything is theoretical. It's not like when we were young, the teachers took us to cross the roads. It's logistically very problematic today, of course, of safety reasons. So it doesn't happen anymore. There is no practical training for kids to cross the road. And it's a very, very painful subject for all of us, I think. So actually, it's so interesting to come back to a school that I did training also already. Like a month or 2 months after I did the training, I come back to a school. Kids run to me and say, Tal, we don't look at our cell phones anymore. When you cross the road, we look right and left. We know how to pick behind obscuring cars. And for us, it's a big, big joy to feel that we actually did something to help. So the psychomotoric conditioning, it helps them to understand they really don't want to get run over. They understand the meaning of it. They don't like the red flash and they don't like to get X's, they like to get V's. So we understood that we want to investigate to study if it actually helps them get better results. So we compared two main groups, those who do theoretical training and those who do VR training. We wanted to see if it's effective enough. So our scenarios are comprised of stopping at a safe distance from the road, dealing with an obscured line of sight, specifically dealing with bike riders that go on the other side, on the other direction of the road, traffic, and understanding the meaning of the lights in the back of the vehicle, specifically reverse light. And I was shocked to realize that reverse lights, even older people, adults, don't know which light it is. It's white. Don't cross behind a vehicle with a white light. Okay, so we divided it into several different groups with the help of Mark. It wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you so much for this. Some groups. Okay, so there were frontal lessons that I made for several of the kids. After that, they took a written test. It was 8 questions, multiple choice test. And actually, after they did the frontal training, we didn't want them to feel left out, so we had them also do the VR training as well. But that's after the written test. Several groups took the VR training and then the written test. And of course, there was the control group, 4. They just had the written test. There were several interesting other stuff that we wanted to investigate. We wanted to see if they take a VR test without any instruction inside, if it improves their ability to cross the road. And actually, we were very surprised by the results. I'll talk about that shortly. And another thing we wanted to investigate if there is a difference between high-end VR, Oculus Rift with the motion tracker, and the low-end VR, a cardboard. This time it was Google Pixel with the Daydream cardboard, never mind. It was very interesting also to understand the difference. So the participants were 4th graders. They were 10, 11 years old. Different groups of 8 kids. It was a very festive day for them to do that. We told them it's the first time ever to implement VR in schools. They felt very privileged. So it was 30 minutes for each group of 8 kids. They had different stations, and only 2 students out of 132 didn't feel like participating, but the others had a lot of fun. Also we wanted to validate our results, our tests. So actually, some of the questions were very difficult to answer. Those with the perspective, trying to understand the perspective of the driver were difficult for the kids, but understanding what to do when there was green light, they really understood they should look right and left before they cross the road. There are drivers that cross in the red lights. They understood the meaning of reverse lights. It was very interesting to see that. Finally, the results that we really expected. we really wanted to see the results. So we realized that VR test results are clearly better than those with no instruction at all, and marginally better than the lessons by a professional instructor. Actually, very interesting for us was to see that there is no real difference between high-end VR and low-end VR. It was a short iteration, so there wasn't really motion sickness or dizziness. Even those who did feel that a bit, it was quick enough for them to want to keep doing it. Our next study, what we want to investigate further on, is to understand if there is a long-lasting effect. We want to come back to the school a week after we did that to see if we are really affected for a long time. We are certain that this is the case, but we're going to investigate it further. That's it. Thank you very much. If there are any questions for me or for Mark, yes. Yes.
You kept mentioning it? Was it a verb?
Yes. So after the test, there was a questionnaire. We didn't investigate it yet, but they did answer, was it fun? Did they prefer this instead of a regular lesson? You probably understand what's the result there. We actually wanted also to ask if they felt felt uncomfortable or something. So actually, there was between 10 and 20% of the kids that felt a bit uncomfortable, maybe a bit dizzy. But then immediately after that, we asked if they would have preferred to keep doing another 10 minutes training, and everyone, 100% of them said yes, definitely. I hope I answered the question. Something else? Yes?
How did you decide on the killing animation and stuff like that?
Okay, we really wanted to have the ragdoll effect, so if you get run over, you splatter around, but actually, in the beginning, so actually, we understood that it's not the best solution, because in every class there is at least one kid that is very, very scared of that. So we minimized the effect and the sound and the audio, so we can talk about it later specifically. So it's very it's very low emitting light, red light. Other than that, it's boring. It should be boring and not frightening.
It's a bright scratch.
Thank you.